Vienna, 1998. Hotel room, third floor. The kind of room that looks the same in every city in the world. The man in the next room has been your asset for 11 years. He gave you the location of 3 Iranian nuclear facilities, Syrian weapons transfers that stopped 2 attacks before they started, the name of a double agent inside Israeli intelligence who is burning assets across the Middle East. He saved lives, hundreds, maybe more. He also just sold everything he knows to Iranian intelligence. Every location, every contract, every operation you ran together for 11 years. You have an order in your jacket pocket, signed, approved at the highest level. Your own signature on the approval document from 6 months ago when the target was just a name on a list and you didn't know yet it was him. You sit on the edge of a bed. You think about a cafe in Budapest in 1987. He was nervous, hands shaking slightly. You bought him coffee. You told him he was doing the right thing. You believed it. 11 years later, you're still not sure you were wrong. That's the part nobody trains you for. Level 1, the screening. You don't apply to the Mossad. Nobody applies to the Mossad. You are approached. A man you've met twice at university functions. Unremarkable. The kind of person you remember vaguely and can't quite place. He asks if you'd like to have coffee. You have coffee. He asks questions that seem like conversation about your family, your politics, whether you've ever lived abroad, whether you speak languages other than Hebrew. You speak 3. You've lived in London for 2 years. Your father served. His father served. The man nods. He says, "We'll be in touch." 3 weeks later, a letter arrives. An address, a time, no explanation. You go. The building looks like an insurance company. Inside, a room, a chair, a man with a file that contains more information about you than you knew existed. The psychological evaluation takes 2 days. They want to know how you handle contradiction, how you maintain relationships under pressure, whether you can lie convincingly to someone who trusts you. The last one is the real question. You pass. You are 26 years old. You have no idea what you've just passed into. Level 2, the Katsa. Training takes 2 years. Not at a facility anyone will admit exists. Languages, surveillance, counter-surveillance, how to build a cover identity that survives scrutiny, how to recruit an asset, find the pressure point, apply it precisely, never let them feel coerced even when they are. Then they send you to Europe. Your first posting, Paris. You are officially a trade attaché at the Israeli embassy. Your real job, find people with access to things Israel needs to know. Your first target is a Lebanese businessman with connections to Hezbollah financing networks. He moves money through legitimate companies. He attends the right conferences. He has a daughter studying in Geneva. You spend 4 months becoming someone he trusts. You find his pressure point in month 2. His daughter, she's applied for a scholarship that requires security clearance. Her father's connections are a problem. You can make the problem smaller or larger. He chooses smaller. He starts talking. You file your first intelligence report. Your handler in Tel Aviv says, "Good work." You don't feel good. You feel like someone who just learned something about yourself that you weren't sure about before. That you can do this. That you're willing to. Level 3, the Combatant. 5 years in. They offer you something different. Not case officer work. Something that requires deeper cover, longer deployments, higher risk. A Combatant. You will live as someone else. Not for months, for years. A complete identity, a complete life, built in a country that doesn't know you're there. You are sent to Tehran, not as an Israeli, as a European businessman with interests in regional trade. You spend 3 years in Tehran. You learn the city, The culture, the specific way people speak when they trust you. You build relationships that takes years to build. Every relationship is operational. Every friendship is a file. Every dinner is a collection exercise. You are very good at this. Too good. The relationships feel real. Some of them are real. That's the line you learn to walk in Tehran. Real enough to work. Not so real that it costs you. You come home after 3 years. You sit in your apartment in Tel Aviv. You don't know how to be yourself anymore. You're not sure which version of yourself is the real one. Level 4. The Asset. Budapest, 1987. His name is Davar. Not his real name. The name you give him in your files. He's an Iranian diplomat, mid-level. Access to communications between Tehran and European capitals. You've been watching him for 3 months. He's disillusioned, not politically, personally. His government passed him over for a promotion he'd worked toward for 6 years. A younger man with the right connections got the position instead. That's the pressure point. Not ideology, not money, pride. Wounded pride is the most reliable recruitment motivation there is. You approach him at a conference in Budapest. You buy him coffee. You listen to him talk about his career for an hour. At the end, you say, "There are people who would appreciate what you know." He looks at you. He knows what you are. Not specifically, but enough. He thinks about it for 3 days. Then he calls the number you gave him. You meet in a park. He's nervous, hands shaking slightly. You tell him he's doing the right thing. You believe it. He becomes your most valuable asset. For 11 years, he gives you everything. Level 5. The Kidon. There are things the Mossad needs done that case officers don't do. Targets that can't be arrested, can't be prosecuted, can't be allowed to continue. You are selected for Kidon. The name means bayonet in Hebrew. The unit doesn't appear in any organizational chart. Its members don't discuss it. Its operations are approved at the highest level and acknowledged by nobody. The training is different from anything before. Not languages, not cover identities. How to kill someone precisely, quickly, in a way that looks like something else, or doesn't look like anything at all. Your first operation is in Rome. A man who built a bomb that killed 11 Israeli athletes in Munich in 1972. You read his files. You know what he did. You know the names of the men he killed. You don't feel conflicted about Rome. That's the first operation. Later operations are less clear. Targets whose files you read and find yourself asking questions that aren't in the briefing. You ask them anyways. Your team leader says, "The decision is made above us." He says, "A job is execution, not evaluation." You do the job. You go home. You don't talk about Rome. Level 6. The team leader. You run operations now. 4 operators. Your responsibility. Their lives. Your problem. An operation in Dubai. A Hamas military commander. Responsible for attacks that killed civilians. The file is clear. The authorization is signed. 11 Mossad operatives enter Dubai on passports from 5 different countries. The operation takes 4 days to execute. It works. The target is dead. The operation is also photographed by hotel security cameras. The passports are identified. The countries whose passports you used are furious. Your operators get out. The fallout takes years to manage diplomatically. You write the after-action report. Every decision documented. Every choice justified. You don't write about the photographs. You write about the intelligence failure that allowed them to exist. Your department head reads the report. He says, "You protected your operators." He says, "Next time, protect the operation." You nod. You understand what that means. The operation is the priority. Always. You file that away. Level 7, the department head. You approve targets now, not execute them, approve them. A file comes across your desk. An Iranian nuclear scientist. His work is directly connected to a weapons program. The intelligence is solid. The case is clear. You sign the approval document. 6 months later, you're in a hotel room in Vienna. The asset in the next room is Daber, the man you recruited in Budapest in 1987. The man whose hands were shaking. The man you told was doing the right thing. The man who just sold everything he knows to Iranian intelligence, including the location of the nuclear scientist, including the fact that there's a Mossad team watching the scientist. You pull out the approval document from 6 months ago. Your signature. You didn't know it was him. You know now. Level 8, Vienna. Back to the hotel room. The order is clear. Davar sold 11 years of intelligence. Assets are compromised. Operations are burned. People will die because of what he told them. You sit on the edge of the bed. You think about the coffee in Budapest, the shaking hands, the way he looked when he made the decision, like a man jumping off something and not sure there's water below. You think about the 11 years, the nuclear facilities, the weapons transferred, the double agents he identified. He did real things, things that mattered. Then he did the other thing. You think about the approval document, your signature, 6 months ago, before you knew. You stand up. You put on your jacket. You knock on the door of the next room. He opens it. He sees your face. He knows. He says, "I wondered when it would be you." You say, "So did I." Level 9, the deputy director. You are promoted within the year, not despite Vienna, because of how you handled it. The decision you made in that hotel room, the report you wrote afterward, the way you documented everything precisely and completely and without self-justification. Deputy director. You sit in meetings now where the decisions are made. You read files about people whose lives will change because of what happens in that room. You think about every asset you ever recruited, every pressure point you found, every person who trusted you with something that cost them. You think about Dawa, not with guilt exactly, with the specific weight of knowing exactly what happened and why, and that it was right, and the right things can still cost something. That weight doesn't go away. You stopped expecting it to. Level 10, the director. The top. You sit in an office in Tel Aviv. You read the files. You make the decisions. You sign the documents that others will execute. You think about Paris, the Lebanese businessman and his daughter's scholarship. You think about Tehran, 3 years of your life that wasn't yours. You think about Budapest, a nervous man with shaking hands, a cup of coffee, the right thing. You think about Vienna. You think about all the names in all the files, the assets, the targets, the operators, the ones who came home and the ones who didn't. A young officer is shown into your office. He's been recruited, screened, approved. He's 26. He looks like you did. He doesn't know what he's agreed to yet. You look at him. You think about what to say. You say, "This work matters." You say, "Remember that on the days it doesn't feel like it does." He nods. He leaves. You turn back to the files. There are always more files.